It's Tuesday morning, and we've a full lineup for you today. Here's what's coming up.
Today on Horsing Around, Dr. Chris Blevins visits with Dr. Beth Davis, a board-certified internal medicine specialist for large animals at the Veterinary Health Center at Kansas State. They'll be discussing equine metabolic syndrome. Learn how this can lead to laminitis and what management techniques are recommended. Then Brian Holman talks with Dr. Ken Odie, the head of K-State's Animal Science and Industry Department, about the new Stanley Stout Center. Closed captioning brought to you by Kansas Soybean Commission, the Soybean Checkoff Progress, powered by Kansas farmers. This segment is brought to you by Roy Fry Western Lifestyles, dressing Northeast Kansas their Western best for almost 60 years.
Hello and welcome to Horsing Around. I'm Dr. Chris Blevins here at Kansas State University Veterinary Health Center. And I'm joined today by Dr. Beth Davis. She is our internal medicine specialist in equine here at the Veterinary Health Center at Kansas State University. And you might hear kind of in some of the background noise some of our patients that we have here at the hospital. And so they might chime in every once in a while. But we're kind of discussing previously about getting into spring, green grass, and just some things that maybe owners need to be cautious about or be thinking about with their horses when they turn their horses out to the green grass. And one of them, you know, that some people always mention is grass founder and some of those things. And what are they really, as a common name for it, what are they actually being concerned with of that?
Sure, absolutely. So great time of year to have this conversation. And yeah, horses that have a history of grass founder are usually going to be horses that have a condition that we call equine metabolic syndrome. And so equine metabolic syndrome, or EMS, is a condition that we see in certain breeds of horses. And so examples would be Morgan horses, Arabian horses, saddlebred horses, sometimes Welsh ponies and certain lines of Welsh ponies. And these horses, they really have a tendency to stay a little bit heavier than other horses, even technically obese, and they'll have a bigger crest to their neck and they'll have a bigger hindquarter, and they're the kind of horse that you can feed them the same amount as another horse, but they look a lot heavier. So they're just more thrifty and more efficient with their calories and handling of those calories. Those horses that have metabolic syndrome, unfortunately, one of the complicating factors of that disease is they have a tendency for laminitis. And so sometimes when these horses with metabolic syndrome, they're a little overweight, and specifically they have the problem of insulin resistance, they go out on a lush pasture that has a lot of carbohydrate in that forage, and that sets that horse up for having some problems with their feet, the laminitis, and that's really where we see that grass founder. That's
a good point. So it's like the easy keepers and those kind of things that some of them kind of describe as. And whenever they, you know, have the aspect of foundering or doing those kind of things while out in pasture, what, I guess, is kind of that relationship? Because I have some owners that ask, and maybe don't know exactly why that is the case, but some of them just, you know, they're wondering, well, why is that causing it, or why are some of them more sensitive than my other horses? Right. It's a great question, and it's a question that a lot of very sophisticated research is going into looking at. We don't completely understand every step of the pathway, but the bottom line is that these easy keepers have a tendency for insulin resistance, a little bit like type 2 diabetes in people. Okay. It's not the same, but there are similarities. And because of that insulin resistance, they don't take up carbohydrate quite to the same level in all of their cell types, including the cells in their feet, and it puts them at risk for developing laminitis, and some of them have pre-existing disease, so then they have exacerbation of their condition when they're on lush pasture. Okay. Well, you know, I think that those are all good points as far as just going through what an owner should be kind of looking for and be conscious about whenever they're taking their horses and putting them out in pasture. I think when we'll come back from the break, we'll talk a little bit more about that disease, maybe treatments or some other things at least to mention to them what they need to be kind of doing for their horse during that time frame. I'm Dr. Chris Blevins here at the Veterinary Health Center at Kansas State University. joined by Dr. Beth Davis, internal medicine specialist, and we'll be right back.
Valley Vet Supply is devoted to providing information and professional quality products at reasonable prices.
ValleyVet.com, ValleyVet.com, Valley Vet Supply.
American innovation is being driven in places you might not expect by people like Brent Hayek, an Oklahoma family farmer, who recently set a world land speed record in a Ford Super Duty pickup truck powered by renewable B20 biodiesel. Advanced performance is here, now, putting America on the fast track to more jobs and energy independence. Biodiesel, America's advanced biofuel.
Purple Wave is a proud supporter of the Kansas FFA through the Bid for Blue program. Purple Wave donates a portion of the proceeds earned on certain ag assets to the Kansas FFA. Winning bidders can designate a Kansas chapter to receive the donation. To date, Purple Wave is proud to have donated over $10,000. Visit purplewave.com to learn more and to place bids on Bid for Blue assets. Purple Wave Auction. Straight, simple, sold.
Soil is the life of a farm, and for 25 years, SureCrop liquid crop nutrition has helped growers produce abundant quality crops while preserving and improving the soils they steward. SureCrop offers complete soil and plant analysis with cropping recommendations, delivery direct to your on-farm storage, and quality crop nutrition custom blended for your field. Choose SureCrop for the assurance of excellence for your soil. Call today or visit their website for more information. Ag AM in Kansas is brought to you in part by Premier Farm and Home. Stop by or visit us at heycow.com.
Hello and welcome back to Horsing Around. I'm Dr. Chris Blevins here at Kansas State University Veterinary Health Center, and again joined by our internal medicine specialist in equine, Dr. Beth Davis, here at the vet school. Just as we went before break, we were talking about equine metabolic syndrome in horses and the grass founder, easy keepers, and talked a little bit about the disease process. And I think the next segment that would be very interesting, or at least make sure owners know about, as far as management of those horses, maybe when they have those symptoms of being potentially sore on their feet and those kind of things.
Absolutely. So really great point. I think the thing we have to keep in mind is that some of these horses do have a tendency to gain weight, and those horses are the ones that have trouble on the pasture. So if an owner has a horse that has had a problem in the past, they want to be careful with that horse. And if we have one that sometimes they have obvious signs of laminitis, so we can tell they're sore on their feet, they're rocking back, they're a little tender when they walk. Sometimes we have horses that actually they just show us maybe after a hoof trim, they get a little bit tender, and normal healthy horses should be able to handle a hoof trim without getting sore. But those are the horses that we're most concerned about, and we do want to be careful. So if we do put them on pasture, to transition them onto that pasture and make sure they're handling it okay. So maybe putting them out for an hour or so in the morning, bringing them back up to the dry lot for the rest of the day, and then gradually increasing their time out if they're handling it okay. The best forage for these kinds of horses is actually just real nice blue stem prairie grass hay, and trying to feed them somewhere around 1.5 to 2% of their body weight. Full-size horse, somewhere around 15 to 20 pounds in a 24-hour period of time.
Okay, so it's kind of like tough love a little bit with your horse. And I know some owners, they bring them in from pasture and they're out in green grass and they feel sorry for them. They want to give them a whole bunch of grain. And I guess, is there any problems with that aspect? Some owners, they want to keep feeding them and just as far as what they should when they bring them in?
Yeah, that's an excellent point as well. And we want to make sure that we're meeting all of their nutritional needs, and so we want them to be on a balanced diet. And so if they are only on hay alone, then sure, we probably want to balance that ration. And we are so fortunate because there are quite a few products on the market right now through different feed lines as far as balancing that ration, giving them the minerals, the nutrients, the vitamins that they need. But we want to stay away from the high carbohydrate feeds, so the real rich starch you know, sweet feed type grains, those sorts of things.
Okay. And you know, some owners, they think, well, just feeding oats, is that okay? Because they think, well, it's not as hot of a feed. And what is there a problem with just oats or something like that?
Yeah, so oats are a little more dangerous than they look, and so they actually are pretty high in carbohydrates.
Okay.
So you have to be real careful. And I'd say these horses, they should stay away from anything like that and go for the low starch, the diets that are designed for these easy keepers.
Perfect. That is really good information. The other thing, you know, real quick, as far as reoccurrence, say the horse is doing a lot better, do we ever have to worry about it again? Does it ever come back, or what do they need to do to kind of watch those things for those horses?
Yeah, good point. So these horses are set up. They have that genetic predisposition. They're going to have problems probably lifelong, but they can be controlled. So just keeping an eye on their body condition, being very careful with that diet, low starch, hopefully the horse is going to do real well for them.
Well, thank you very much, Dr.
You bet.
Davis.
Absolutely.
Well, thank you for joining us here on Horsing Around. I'm Dr. Chris Blevins at Kansas State University Veterinary Health Center, and we will see you around.
This is the fast track to more jobs and America's energy independence. Advanced performance is here, now. Biodiesel, America's advanced biofuel.
Valley Vet Supply is devoted to providing information and professional quality products at reasonable prices.
Valley Vet Supply.
Tarwater's has what you need for all seasons for around the farm and home. Working, hunting, growing, feeding, snow removal, even fun for the kids. And a service department with experienced techs to help keep your equipment in top running condition. Tarwater's has a huge selection and the best prices. Tarwater Farm and Home, family owned and operated since 1978. They have what you need.
I'm Dennis Tebow. My wife and I, Kathy, are the owners of Wolf Creek Cattle Company. We have grown to approximately 70 bulls.
I'm Reese Arnold. I'm the livestock manager at Wolf Creek Cattle Company. You know, these are not just like normal cattle. These cattle, they're hauled anywhere from, 8 to 10 hours a day across the United States and asked to perform. The Multiman 90 keeps them kind of level. It maintains and balances their system. The stress level's less when, when everything's right and working right, then they're working right.
Roy Fry Western Lifestyles brings the cowboy or cowgirl out in all of us. With a huge selection of must-have items, it doesn't matter if you're shopping for your horse, picking up some Western accessories to add that rustic charm to your home, or simply treating yourself. The knowledge and expertise to dress you your Western best is right here at Roy Fry Western Lifestyles, Highway 24 and Kansas Avenue in Topeka.
The Kansas State University College of Veterinary Medicine is a leader in food animal research and education. Our researchers are constantly expanding the knowledge of animal health and food safety. Through the Veterinary Health Center and the Kansas State Veterinary Diagnostic Lab, we provide practical services for animal producers. Home of the Beef Cattle Institute, the college is committed to animal welfare training and research. The Kansas State University College of Veterinary Medicine, knowledge and service for the future of animal production.
This segment is brought to you by Santa Fe Trail Meats in Overbrook. Stop by or visit us at sftmeats.com.
Good morning and welcome back to the show. We're on the campus of Kansas State University. We're at the Stanley Stout Center here, new dedication that just happened about a month or so ago. And I didn't get time to catch up with Dr. Odie at that time because he was busy cutting ribbons and visiting with everybody who came to see the new building. So it's good to catch up with you, Dr. Odie.
Good to have you here.
Beautiful facility. It's nice to add to more tools in your toolbox.
Absolutely. We have, as you know, and we've talked many times, we have a very large undergraduate enrollment. Our official enrollment in the fall was 1,140 students. Wow. And while this facility will serve all of our mission areas, teaching, research, and extension, probably more than anything, it'll serve our teaching mission with undergraduate students. I might tell you a little bit about how this facility came about. In 2006, Stanley Stout, a famous auctioneer and a very loyal Kansas State University person, he passed away, and a number of people thought it was important to honor him here at Kansas State University. So a fundraising campaign started in 2006. It took quite a while to raise the money. This is about a $2 million facility, but ultimately raised the money so that we could go ahead and build this facility. Started this last summer, and we just dedicated the facility and had a ribbon cutting here. You were here on March 1st, and we're just delighted to have this as part of our set of facilities that we use to serve the people that we're here to serve.
Well, I want to talk about this building, but I also want to talk about the growth of your department, Animal Sciences. And you look at all the growth going on as far as new building goes. You got a new sheep and goat building. You have this new building. You have the new feedlot, and I want to talk about that in our next segment. How do you manage that growth? Because there's a lot of growth going on in your department.
Well, it's by the way, it's not always easy, but you know, what we really do is we have a lot of highly dedicated people who are all pulling in the same direction. And we have growth in terms of students. That's probably our biggest growth. And you mentioned some of our facilities. This facility, the Sheep and Meat Goat Center. One that you didn't mention is we've just built a new building out at KABSU at the Kansas Artificial Breeding Service Unit that will be another semen collection facility and an AI training center. So we'll have a new artificial insemination training center. KABSU many years ago used to put on AI classes for the general public. We plan to return to that. And starting next fall, we will be offering that as well. This particular building will serve our programs in some key ways. One is it is first and foremost hosts our legacy sale, our big cattle sale in the spring, which is a big deal. It's managed by the students. There's a class called the Sales Management class, led by Dr. Nichols, Dr. Moser, and Ryan Briner. Spend the fall semester and the first part of the spring semester getting ready for that sale, and it's a great educational opportunity for students. And so students really benefit from that experience. It's also important for the department, though, because we generate revenue, and in fact that sale brought in $453,000. So that's a big part. It's an important part of how we fund a lot of the things that we actually do. But that's not the only thing this building will serve. We're standing in a big multi-purpose arena, multi-purpose area that will, we plan to host a lot of different kinds of events, including educational programs, extension education programs, perhaps even banquets, and other kinds of gatherings. We have a classroom down towards that end of the building. We'll be teaching classes up here, particularly some classes that also use our outdoor arena that's up here as well. So some of our equine classes will be taught up here. So we just are really pleased to have this building as part of our a set of facilities that help serve the students in the livestock industry that we're here working for.
Well, we're going to take a quick break with Dr. Odie, and when we come back, we're going to talk about the new feed mill. You're watching Ag AM in Kansas, and we'll see you in just a minute.
The Kansas State University College of Veterinary Medicine is a leader in food animal research and education. Our researchers are constantly expanding the knowledge of animal health and food safety. Through the Veterinary Health Center and the Kansas State Veterinary Diagnostic Lab, we provide practical services for animal producers. Home of the Beef Cattle Institute, the college is committed to animal welfare training and research. The Kansas State University College of Veterinary Medicine, knowledge and service for the future of animal production.
We've been here for 42 years now. We run around 2,500 cows. I bought a couple loads of cattle out of cows, black cows out of California. I noticed these cows are kind of a off-color, rusty color. We're going to be processing these cows in the next few days, and at that time I will inject Multiman into them to help take care of their copper deficiency. I would recommend Multiman to any cowman. It's been effective.
Now another gardening tip with Annette Jackson.
For the greenest, healthiest, weed-free lawn in your neighborhood, the Fertilome Lawn Care program is the best. Fertilome Lawn Care products provide your lawn with the exact ingredients for proper fertilization and weed prevention. Jackson's friendly staff will call you to let you know when to apply the next step. We can also do it for you, so call or stop in now.
The Fertilome Lawn Care Program is still available at last year's prices, but hurry, time is limited.
Golf Week calls it the best course you can play in Kansas. But once you play, you'll want to stay. Go for it. Firekeeper Golf Course at Prairie Band Casino and Resort is just north of Topeka off Highway 75. Our stay and play package is worth the trip. Luxury hotel room, green fees, and golf cart for two, starting at just $169.
Prairie Band Casino and Resort. Go for it!
Soil is the life of a farm, and for 25 years, SureCrop liquid crop nutrition has helped growers produce abundant quality crops while preserving and improving the soils they steward. SureCrop offers complete soil and plant analysis with cropping recommendations, delivery direct to your on-farm storage, and quality crop nutrition custom blended for your field. Choose SureCrop for the assurance of excellence for your soil. Call today or visit their website for more information. Ag AM in Kansas is brought to you in part by Kansas Pork Association, assisting producers and informing consumers.
2-1. Thanks for staying with us, Dr. Odie. Thank you for staying with us. I know you're extremely busy. We played phone tag for about 2 weeks trying to schedule this interview, so Dr. Odie stays extremely busy, so we appreciate his time. New feed mill, another exciting building going up here at K-State.
Very important project to Kansas State University. This project is a joint project between two departments, the Department of Grain Science and Industry and the Department of Animal Science and Industry. So the feed mill that's just newly constructed just to our immediate west on the north side of campus, large tall building, you can't miss it if you
Right next to the flour mill.
Right next to the flour mill. Is actually replacing two facilities. It's replacing Grain Science's mill over in Schellenberger Hall, and it's replacing our mill down here on the corner of Denison and Kimball. It has some really important features. In addition to manufacturing the precision diets that we need for our animal nutrition studies, we also have a feed safety research center in the facility. And one of the areas of research that we really intend to expand will be feed safety research. That's become much more important. I also want to let you know that we've just made a very important hire. Dr. Charles Stark is a faculty member at North Carolina State University. We've been successful in recruiting him here. He will be joining us this summer. He will have a joint appointment, partially in Grain Science. Grain Science will be his lead appointment, will be a minor appointment in Animal Science, and he'll be really leading our feed science program and will be the primary person overseeing the activity at the new feed mill.
Well, as safety becomes a big part of agriculture nowadays, is this kind of tied in with the NBAF program that's going on here also? I mean, is it a hand-in-hand fit, you think?
Potentially. As you well know, there's a lot yet to happen on NBAF, but potentially we could be producing diets in this particular feed mill that could have pathogens, pathogens that might be part of particular studies. A feed safety research center, this will be what's called a BSL-2 facility. Of course, NBAF will be a BSL-3 and BSL-4 facility, so a much higher level than what we will actually be producing here. But there could potentially be some synergies between the two facilities.
Over the last 3 years, I've got to know Dr. Odie extremely well, and we've spent a lot of time together. The growth in your department is overwhelming, I would imagine.
We have, we've grown our undergraduate enrollment about 400 students in the last 6 years. And not only have we grown, but much of that growth is coming from out-of-state students. So I think as our faculty demonstrate their commitment to students, we have very high-quality faculty. We attract more and more students from around the country. In fact, we just had the winning academic quadrathlon team at the Midwest Section Animal Science. 3 of our 4 students were non-Kansans. Interestingly enough, one was from Oregon, one from Nevada, and one from Virginia, and then we had a Kansan, just to kind of illustrate where our students are actually coming from.
They have lots of choices between those states and Kansas.
They absolutely do, and it's our faculty and the quality of our faculty and the commitment of our faculty to students that actually attract them here.
Dr. Odie, thank you for your time. It's always good to see you.
My pleasure.
Closed captioning brought to you by Kansas Soybean Commission. The Soybean Checkoff Progress, powered by Kansas farmers.
We'll have lots more for you tomorrow here on Ag AM in Kansas. We're here every weekday, same time, same station. Meantime, look for us on the web at agaminkansas.com. Eric Atkinson here from K-State Research and Extension.